What's up, fam? Welcome to the Inside Out Bible Study, man. I'm super excited to be sharing this time with you. Hey, listen, if it's our first time meeting, my name is Pastor Andre Ashford, and I have the tremendous privilege of leading this brand new church plant, this new spiritual community coming to the upstate of South Carolina called Impact City Church. And our mission, man, is really simple: to help as many people as possible encounter Jesus, grow in community, and make an impact in the world. We believe God is doing some tremendous things in this area. And if you would want to learn more about that, maybe have a conversation or just join the team, there should be something coming on the screen now for you to get connected. Man, I'm super excited to jump in to this teaching ministry to help us grow in our Christ likeness, to grow to look more like Christ. I believe that you can go to heaven just by consuming a sermon, a worship experience on Sunday. But here's what I'll say, and here's what I argue. I don't believe you'll be equipped to bring heaven to earth just by going on Sundays. I believe that if we are going to live, to love, and to lead like Jesus, then we have to be intentional about listening to his teachings, about following his teachings, and about applying his teachings. And tonight will be no different. I want to take just a moment of your time and look at Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, beginning at verse 1, looking at verse number 1 through verse number 12. For context sake, I'm going to read from the NIV. The Bible says, "Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. He said, 'Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you.'" And if I could just tag a title to tonight's teaching, it would simply be Kingdom Character. Kingdom Character. I want to begin our moment of reflection tonight with this simple statement. Here it is. The quality of your character has a lasting impact on the quality of your life. Yeah, it doesn't matter how well you dress, how eloquently you speak, how much money you make, or even how much Bible you can quote. If your character is questionable, then your life will often be chaotic. Yikes. Somebody need to put yikes in the chat already. If your character is questionable, your life will often be chaotic. And I can say that with conviction because I've seen this play out repeatedly over my 31 short years of living. I've seen people invest years of their life to gain and amass a great following, to get notoriety, to get popularity, to reach greater heights because of their skill set and their abilities, only to have it snatched away from them, not because they were incompetent, but because of their character. And their competence is what got them in the room. But their character was bad enough to make sure they got put out of the room. And I want to suggest to somebody, this is a side note, I want to let you know that your character, your competence, rather, your skill, your ability can get you in the door. But it's your character that determines whether or not you stay in. Somebody said, preacher, what is character? I'm glad you asked. I want you to think about character like your iOS, your internal operating system. It's the sum total of your values, what you will and will not do, what you will and will not accept. Your character is your internal disposition. It's the compass that guides your decision making. It's who you are, regardless of where you are. Y'all not helping me. I said your character is who you are, regardless of where you are. Character is having, watch this word, integrity. Your character is the real you. When nobody is around, when nobody is looking, when you're not recording your selfie videos, when you're not going live, when you're not posting the reel. I'm talking about the person that only you and God can see. The proverb writer would put it like this in Proverbs 11:3. He will say, the integrity of the upright guides them. It's the compass. It's the GPS. But watch this. The unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Yikes. Duplicity. It is saying one thing and doing another. Duplicity. It is kind of like what we used to call two-faced. It is you're living a double life. So he says, the integrity of the upright is what guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed. They are ruined by their duplicity. So hear me, family, the quality of your life isn't just determined by who you know, by where you live, how much money you have in the bank, or how many degrees you have collecting dust at your mama house. No, the quality of your life is directly correlated to the quality of your character. And my pastor would say it like this. There are 3 types of character a person can have. You can have first way character, which is worldly character. That's the way of the world. That's the way of people who live by their own rules, their own standards. You got second way character, which is churchy character. And I'm about to step on some toes right here. That's the character that's solely focused on what we can see on the outside. That's morality. I don't drink. I don't smoke. You ain't never seen me do X, Y, and Z. But if you are going to be the kind of people that God has created us to be and live the life that we were meant to live and do the things that we have been called, created, and commissioned to do, then we need to understand and embrace a third way character, a kingdom character. And our text tonight is a perfect picture of this principle, because who better to learn the kingdom character, the principles of kingdom personality, who better to learn that from than the king himself? Matthew tells us that at the very outset of Jesus's public ministry, he began to grow and amass a following because of the mighty works and deeds that he was doing. And he was going around preaching the gospel of the kingdom. And in our text tonight, we find the first recorded instance in Matthew's gospel of one of his teachings. And it's called the Beatitudes. And I'm not going to hold you long tonight, but when you read Matthew chapter 5, you will begin to hear it from the mouth of the master what kingdom character really looks like, what your internal operating system looks like. He begins with a series of statements that begin like this with the word blessed. Somebody just put blessed in the chat. Blessed, blessed, blessed. When you look at that word blessed, that word there has been kind of reduced to just meaning happy. And that's not incorrect, but that is incomplete. When the King utilizes this word blessed here in its original context, it is not talking about an external success or a mode or a smile on my face of happy. It is really a pronouncement of a state of being. It is a pronouncement that you are in connection, in communion with God. Matter of fact, when he uses the word blessing, it is really given an indication that you have favor with God. It is a depiction of what it looks like to thrive, to flourish. If you follow me, say follow. So in the Beatitudes, it's really a collection of royal decrees from the king and royal pronouncements from the king. It is culture shifting. It is a third way of thinking. And he is really kind of juxtaposing what it looks like to be blessed, to be favored, to be in connection and communion and community spiritually with the king against some of the teachings that these Jews would have been accustomed to. Some of the religious Pharisaic legalism that is cold and formal and self-righteous. When you read specifically Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 12, you will see him kind of contrasting the culture and the character of the kingdom against their legalists. And he says, if you want to flourish or blessed, he starts giving us a depiction of what it looks like. He says, poor in the spirit. He says, those who mourn, those that are meek, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, those who are merciful, those who are pure in heart, those who are peacemakers, those who are persecuted because of righteousness, those who are getting insulted and falsely accused because of me. He says, great is your reward in heaven. So family, here's our simple takeaway and our homework for this week. I want you to meditate. Take Matthew chapter 5. If you're really serious about growing from the inside out, if you're really serious about beginning to be formed into the image of Christ, to putting on kingdom character, take Matthew chapter 5 and begin to break it down verse by verse. What does it mean to be poor in spirit? God, show me today, what does it mean to mourn? Not the loss of a person, but to mourn over my spiritual condition. God, what does it mean to be meek, to have strength under control? What does it mean to hunger and thirst for righteousness? Meaning, I want your word so bad. I need your word so bad that I can't live without it. What does it mean to be merciful? What does it mean to have a right and a reason to get back, but show somebody some mercy? What does it mean to be pure in heart, pure motives, pure intentions? What does it mean to be a peacemaker, not stirring up trouble? I want you to take these Beatitudes and for the next 7 days, split them up, or go ahead and take 11 or 12 days just for the foreseeable future, but split them up and begin to pray over these and meditate over these. God, show me what this means for me Show me how to apply this and show me where I have fallen short in these areas, because I want to begin to be formed, to grow in my kingdom character so that I can be a part of kingdom expansion. I don't believe that, this is expressed in scripture. This is just my belief. You can disagree, but I believe it is an educated belief, an educated concept. I believe that the Beatitudes are placed early in the gospel account here in Matthew, because Jesus wants those who are disciples, followers, apprentices of his to display his character. Why? Because we are the ones who are representing him. And I am afraid that the reason why a lot of us have not been involved as maybe tactful. A lot of us have not been as effective in kingdom expansion as we could be and reaching people for the cause of Christ, because they have seen people who claim to be kingdom minded or Christ followers, and they don't represent him well. They do not have his character. And the reason why some people don't want him is because they first came in contact with people who claim to be representing him. And we will not do that as disciples, specifically as those who are tied and connected to this ministry. We want to help as many people as possible encounter Jesus. That's the beginning. Not encounter religion. Not encounter self-righteousness. Not encounter narcissistic religion. But to encounter those who are meek, who are poor in spirit, who mourn, who are hungry and thirsty for righteousness, who don't think they know everything, who are pure in heart, who are peacemakers. You get what I'm saying. You want your testimony, my friend, to be that when people meet me, I can confidently say they've had an encounter with Christ through me. You might be the only Bible people ever read. So make sure you are doing your dead level best to allow them to read the pages of someone who is literally trying to follow the ways of Jesus, to live, to love, and to lead like him. That's that. Listen, I love you. And I'm super excited about what God is doing in your life. And I cannot wait to see you next week. Take care.